Most new agency owners in the OFM space start with hype, hustle, and in the hope of quick wins. But the ones who last, they operate with a CEO-like mindset, not like the fans, and definitely not like your average Joe. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 mindset shifts that separate the scalable agencies from the ones that simply crash and burn. If you want to build something real in this game, stay locked in until the end of the video. Mindset shift number 1 is to ditch the short-term thinking mindset. When I first started this business, I paid $10,000 for a mentorship, and for many months, I didn't make any money. So if you're in this for quick wins, you're simply in the wrong game. You need to understand that this is a real business, not a quick cash grab. If you're in this game for quick gains without any work, swipe off the video because this is not for you. If you expect to win fast, you'll simply quit faster. You need to be willing to put in the work over a period of time and you will see the results. Now here's the key mindset shift. Don't look for that one winning creator. Instead, you need to build systems and build a solid team around yourself. If you try and do everything on your own, it's the quickest way to 1, reach burnout, and 2, hit a ceiling. Trying to run the whole business on your own is the quickest way to hit a ceiling very quickly and not be able to scale, or even worse, hit a level of burnout. Now a mini challenge for you guys watching this right now is to grab a pen and write down 3 things. Number 1 is your 12-month goals. Be very clear and decisive about what those goals are, so the little inputs that you make on a day-to-day basis, you'll understand what the overall goal is that you're working towards. Now number 2, write down next to those goals what it is you're willing to sacrifice in that 12-month period to reach the goals you've set down. Because at the end of the day, life is full of opportunity costs and you have to sacrifice things to get what you want. Then you need to write down the daily inputs needed to get to that 12-month goal. So you've got your 12-month goal, you've got what you're willing to sacrifice, and you've got the daily inputs needed to get there. This is what I do in my business, and as a team, we review these quarterly and make sure we're on track. Now remember, it's execution over excitement always. So mindset shift number 2 is that you need to have boundaries and set authority. So me and my team communicate via WhatsApp. Now there are some non-negotiables here. So the only non-negotiables in this WhatsApp chat is that there's no sexual conversations and there's no disrespect, as this kills professionalism and it adds a level of complexity that is not needed to scale. You are not your creator's fan, you are not their boyfriend, and you are definitely not the therapist. However, you do need to provide a level of emotional support where possible. But you are their business partner, you're there to drive results, and you're there to set the tone. Now, if you don't lead with authority in your business, you'll be treated like an assistant by 1, the creators that you work with, and 2, your managers and team members. Respect is one of the key foundations of scale. Without it, communication breaks down, trust breaks down, and more importantly, the business's growth will break down. Mindset shift number 3 is that leadership isn't optional. Now leadership is everything. We actually use something called a screenshot monitor. I'll put the link in the description. And this helps to monitor the remote staff's working hours. We also hold daily and weekly meetings with staff members and hold them accountable to KPIs and discuss any challenges, any setbacks, and any positives to pull from the week and how we can take them into the next week and move forward. Myself and my partners demand excellence from everybody that works within our business. Now when you're a leader, you don't need to be a dictator as such, but you need to make sure that you are taking the lead and setting by example at all times. Your team won't do what you expect, they'll simply do what you do. So you need to set standards, define KPIs, hold check-ins and track working hours. Now there's training and then there's micromanaging. So you need to train people until they are competent. But at the same time, you need to have a level of trust. So you need to set people off with the tasks to do. And when they come back at the end of the week or the end of the day, whenever they've completed the task, you need to see if they've hit KPIs. If they have, great. If they haven't hit KPIs, find out why. And if they don't take your advice on board and continuously don't hit the KPIs, then that is reason to fire and find a new employee who will stick to the guidelines and the tasks that you set. At the end of the day, you're not there to babysit, you're there to build a machine. You need to take yourself as far away as possible out the middle of the business and make it a decentralized business so that you can go and do what you want with your life whenever you want. If you're too centralized within the business and you don't put trust into other people, you're forever going to be a slave to your own work. Now remember why you started this business in the first place. I'd imagine it was for freedom. It wasn't to be a slave to your own work. Now 3 mini exercises I like to do whilst hiring and training is to, number 1, build out SOPs. These are standard operating procedures and these are key to write out essentially how you do your processes and be able to give them to employees or future employees to train them on exactly how you executed on the processes so you can delegate efficiently. So once they've got the SOPs, you need to train them once. Then you manage them with tools and processes, not emotion. No matter how much you like someone, as much as having a good working relationship with someone is good, there are simply no friends in business. So no matter how much you may like someone or dislike someone, it matters on data. So if they are hitting the KPIs, then they stay. If they're not, they go. And mindset shift number 4 is to build in seasons, not in spurts. Now myself personally, I work in seasons. This involves having relentless focus with clear goals. Everything I do is tied to a specific output which I'm chasing. And I need to have consistency over intensity of work every single time. At the end of the day, focus on a specific set of tasks is going to be multitasking every time. So set your goals clearly and lock in on that piece of work that's going to drive you closest to that goal. So you need to lock in your inputs, such as creator outreach, call volume, and content production. Now tie these directly to measurable outputs, such as MRR or conversion rates. So what do you do if something doesn't convert right away? You need to adjust tiny little bits at a time. Don't just abandon it. Change a little variable, run it for a 30, 60 or 90-day period, see what happens, change a few inputs, reflect on the outputs, keep changing until you've got a winning system. Now here's a pro tip. You can use Google Calendar, or myself personally, I use Notion, to track your seasons. Now what you can do at the end of every season is reflect on it, put it into a folder and make a new one. So treat it like a campaign in a game, for example. Once you've completed that season, you then move on to the next one. So then you can focus, deliver and reset for the upcoming season. Now number 5 is managing relationships correctly. We build relationships as creators need to feel safe talking to us, and they need to feel like there is a safe work environment where ideas can be shared within the group chats. But it's always within a frame of respect and results. Yes, this is a relationship-based business, but relationship doesn't directly mean chaos. What I mean by that is that you can be warm and welcoming without being weak. So be approachable and warm, but make sure at the same time that you're not being pushed over by creators and you are standing on what your business represents and the type of clients that you want to work with. If a creator drains your time, energy and resources with little to no ROI, cut them immediately. I've let clients go when they drain resources with no ROI. Those hours are better used scaling a winner. Now that's not drama, that's just simple business strategy. Operate like a business, not a babysitter. So let's run it back. Number 1, you need to ditch the short-term mindset. Number 2, you need to set clear boundaries. Number 3, you need to lead with authority. Number 4, you need to lead with execution sprints and work in seasons. And number 5 is relationships. You need to simply protect your time by cutting off chaos that is actually disguised as a connection. If this video gave you value, drop a like, subscribe, and drop your biggest takeaway in the comment section down below. And if you're building an OFM agency or an OnlyFans creator looking to scale their business and you want to operate at CEO level and be able to scale seamlessly, hit the WhatsApp in the description down below or check out my Instagram, which I'll put here. And remember, if you want to scale, you need to implement these 5 mindset tricks. Thanks for watching, I will see you in the next one.